Okay, well, we're starting now. Hello.
Hello, everybody!
Hello.
Hello, friends and foes, chatters, yappers, and lurkers. What's up? It's episode 8. Hellions of
Away.
Carnocht.
Away.
Hello.
Just a group of people who don't really know how to play Pathfinder playing Pathfinder.
That's great. It's fine.
Thumbs up, thumbs up. Yeah, welcome. We were off last week for our monthly little break where we like to go away and chill and do a face pack, put our feet up. But we are back and ready to cause some trouble. I am your DM, your game master for the session. My name is Doodle. You are on my channel. You can find me everywhere at Doodle and outside of torturing my friends on a weekly basis. I also create comics and am a video game concept artist. But I am joined by my lovely cadre of friends. Dani, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi. Hi, I'm Dani. Sorry, I'm in a mood today. Unfortunately, everyone has to deal with me because I just had sugar. I'm a freelance illustrator. You can find me at Vash pretty much everywhere. I play Yenna, who is a little summoner. She's doing her best, and is probably going to panic in the next session or two because things are already escalating so much. So pray for her, guys.
I guess that's my cue.
Yes.
I
that's
don't have
you.
anything.
Hi, I'm Sedona. I go by Anodesu virtually everywhere. I am a gameplay animator, and I play Gwynn, who is studying wizardry at school and is already so done with all of this bullshit.
Great. I feel like we're all adding a little bit more about ourselves in these intros this week. Hi, everybody. I'm Babs. I'm a writer, and you can find me online at Mustache Babs. And I play Noelani, a Magus rogue dual class, and she's just here for a good time. Not sure if a short or a long time, but she's come from far to make some friends and have some adventures. We'll see.
Squints?
Yeah, what the heck? Where are you going?
Where are you
What does that
going?
mean? Yeah. Why are
don't
you
know.
not sure? That's the real question.
She might
Who
not
could
be here
say?
for a long time, but she's here for a good party.
Sweats? Sweats.
Where's she going?
We might be going to court. I don't know.
Which
Are we going
court?
to jail?
Where?
Fake court?
Fake court.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Dodger, and I'm a streamer. I'm not super artsy like everybody else is, but I'm delighted to be here. And I play Yulie, and she's a little anxious investigator. She loves a good mystery, but she'll be sweating the whole time.
Relatable. And hello, I'm Nick. I tattoo. I'm a tattoo artist. I go
Whoa.
by Nick Horst or Nick.tattoos just about everywhere. I play Tink. He's an inventor, alchemist, who's a good boy who's never done anything wrong. Not even one time. And I'm also your tech person today. Takes off my hat. And I just want to let you guys know that we have channel points. I mean, we had channel points working before, but we have like channel points like working where you can redeem them now. So you'll notice hero points and natural 20. I forgot what I added for a second there. And yeah, basically you can give us hero points or give us a natural 20 if you want to change the role in the game. So yeah.
At any point that you guys want to give these guys a leg up,
Please.
you can give them hero points, which essentially works a lot like inspiration. If you're not familiar, it is giving the players an advantage on one of their rolls. As for the natural 20, you can bestow upon any player of the game a natural 20 to be used on a specific roll of your choosing or to simply be gifted to them to use at any point in time. Which terrifies me as a DM.
Why are you terrified? You said it in a way specifically being like, I'm also a player.
Yeah.
You can also give it to the DM, which is
You can also give it to me if you wish to use your powers for evil. Because I will use your powers for evil.
You wish to use your powers for good, chat.
Please.
Please.
You've seen us. We need all the help we can get.
No, Mighty Deacons is already ready for
No.
evil.
Hard ones last week.
Do we have any other announcements from people? I know of one. I'm giving everybody else.
Sorry. I was muted. I mentioned I do gameplay animation, but I'm going to be at TennoCon on the 18th and 19th, and you can see me on a panel for the art and animation of Warframe at Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yay.
Yeah, really cool.
It's
So if any of you guys are in London, Ontario and attending TennoCon, you should go look. You should go see.
Or just watch on Twitch or YouTube.
Yeah, watch it on
Twitch.
Yeah, it's gonna be
something you hadn't even
That's
mentioned
why I'm
before.
extra antsy. I'm being too perceived.
Yeah, the Warframe. Just the Warframe has its own Twitch, right?
Warframe.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
it
Warframe.
does.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be up on there. You guys can watch from afar if you want to and hear Sedona talking about what Sedona does as a day job, which is very cool.
Hooray.
It's my favorite game, so it is really cool.
Yeah. And spoilers, Sedona's very good at it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let
Sedona
Sedona
actively
be
digging
less
a hole to
perceived.
crawl into.
Yeah.
Crawling under the floorboards.
Like I will like preface with I accidentally agreed to do this panel. Like I didn't mean to. Truly, I thought I was doing a workshop. I am a little scared now.
You're gonna be
great.
great.
It's gonna be great.
Fine. It'll go fantastic.
Yeah. That's what the MC is for.
Yeah.
And like
You are having a
there's gonna be some cool
conversation
people.
with your buds. Pretend like you're talking to
Oh,
me.
my cats are coming through. Sorry. They're I moved. Sorry.
It's okay. Pet noises are always fine on this stream. It's all good.
I don't think anybody hates cats in the chat. If they do, well, they can leave.
Does anybody else have any other announcements?
It's not an announcement, but the DM and I were at DashCon this weekend.
We were, and it was
just wanted
great.
to report that DashCon was real and it happened, and it was a perfectly normal day, except for
Strange
being
Aeons
about Tumblr.
won, the Croaker lost. It was great.
Yes, all is right with the world.
Sedona, you've been given a hero point.
Yeah, you can mark it down on your sheet.
Yeah.
There's a spot on your sheet for hero points that we've never used before.
Because we've never had hero points.
Because we never had hero points.
I was trying to make my cats be quiet by feeding them, and then thank you.
No.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully, it will help with being perceived by many eyes. Is what Sleepy Turtle Cat says.
That's really cute. Thank you.
I feel like we have to use that on a stealth roll now if we have to make any stealth rolls.
Yeah.
I love it.
God knows we're probably gonna have to.
As like a last announcement / reminder, if any of you are interested in hit new game Ambrosia Sky, which is the video game that my video game company Soft Rains is coming out with, please put it on your wish lists. We are a very indie startup company, and every wish list helps.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Other than that, we actually are here to play Pathfinder. Not that you'd know it from the way that we can yap. Last session, which was not last week at all.
Don't
The
worry.
guys were put under a horrifically unfair house arrest, and the Hellions had found themselves detained in their rooms by 2 security officers. Said security officers were very against them leaving at all, which led to a couple of behind-the-scenes shenanigans that culminated in the escape of our group of reckless heroes. Squints.
You literally.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
can't tell me you wanted
Heroes.
us to stay in there.
Yeah.
No, I wanted you to escape. I gave you so many openings to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
And we
did.
chose
can't-
the,
you
and we
can't
chose
blame
the
us
most
for leaving.
convoluted one. Yeah,
Yeah,
we chose
you
the
were
most
being-
complicated one.
You were being so cautious, and I was like, how do I make you less cautious? In running across the entire campus, Tink and Yenna almost found themselves reapprehended by police. ACAB, ACAB. But the group in general took themselves to the artificing wing, wherein they burst through the doors and had a first meeting with Tink's new professor of artificing, who had been revealed to be Yenna's guardian. Spilling everything about the unfair house arrest, you had launched into a story of what had been going on. And as we start today's session, you kind of sit in the quiet and stunned silence as Balthazar Klein, the artificing professor, sits across from you all, still finishing up rebraiding one of Yenna's braids, and sighs heavily. All of this is quite a far-fetched explanation. I have to wonder why they would try and keep you out of the way quite as much as they have. I'm glad you decided to come to me, though.
I don't think I was supposed to be there, period. So, but also, I
Yeah,
don't think
well,
these
you
people are
got that.
dangerous.
Who are the gods that were in charge of you?
No, the points at the other at the students, like they like that one got poisoned yesterday. One points at Gwynn.
Does that make me trustworthy? Okay.
No, I'm saying it doesn't seem like you're murderers.
Well, no,
Which makes me wonder precisely why you've kind of been painted as such.
I just don't know why anyone would look at them and be like, "Yeah, those guys did it."
Tink has a look on his face like he had never actually been considering that they had thought that they were murderers.
No. Professor Klein, if I may, yeah, like Yenna says, I mean, none of us really are capable of that. I mean, we could barely take on the challenge they put us in. No offense, everybody. I just, we're not necessarily battle ready. But did you receive any information? We've noticed that there seems to be 2 different packets or like information. The professor that was in charge of the course wasn't even sure that it was supposed to be like that. Did you get any faculty information like that?
Are you talking about the How Not to Die course?
Or
Sorry, Adventuring
anything.
101.
Or anything, really. Yulie and I got our orientation packets, but it seems like there's 2 lines of information happening, and why would we get different stuff?
Yulie's
Well,
sort
I
of
mean-
nodding frantically along, like, yeah.
I can't attest to what students have been given. I imagine what I've been handed as a tutor is a little different. But there was talk this morning in the Great Hall. You missed it, being consigned to your house arrest as you were. There was a formal apology given by the head of the school for the events that happened in your class yesterday.
Convenient that we weren't there.
Incredibly convenient now that I'm thinking on it.
Was the
Can you tell me?
apology for the class being just run stupidly, or was it because bad things happened, like actually happened?
You know, I don't think it came up.
Oh, okay. So a non-apology. Got it.
He kind of nods along, and there's the slightest mark of pride on his face that you caught that. He stands, starting to pace a little. So we've got a class in which students were injured. We've got a
Right.
student that passed away. We've got yourselves being put under house arrest, and a non-apology from the principal of the school.
I mean, that
All of
sounds
this
about
is
right.
starting to smell
Yeah,
strange.
that sums it up pretty good.
Other than the wraiths that you described, has anything else strange happened during all of this?
I think at that Tink is saying nothing, but like kind of knee starts bouncing, twitching, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Noelani looks at Yulie and Tink like,
Yenna just stares at Tink.
yeah.
Yulie looks like she wants to curl up and die.
Well,
No, don't need to look so nervous. I'm not about to turn you into the authorities.
it is that a promise?
He kind of crosses his arms and leans back against his desk, like frowning at Tink for a second, and then is like, I swear on the grave of my ancestors.
So there was one thing. We were gonna give it back.
It's not ours, and we know it's not ours, and we just thought it was weird, and the vibes were wrong at the infirmary anyway, so.
The infirmary where the student passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine the vibes were a little off during that event.
Actually, even before that, it was kind of weird. They were weird to me, I think.
How?
I don't know. They forced me to get my vitals checked, which I was fine, so I don't know why I had to be there. But then, like, the student, like, acted weird, and then went to go get somebody else to tell me how my stuff looked. I don't know.
The student who passed away.
What?
Are you on about the student who passed away?
I don't think Yenna actually knows that
Yeah.
was who was.
I think
we don't
Tink,
actually know that.
Tink knows. So I do think he's gonna like look at Yenna and just kind of I think it was the same student. I think that's why. It's why I wasn't worried about them coming back for you.
Yenna, his eyes just get really big.
You see Balthazar, who is already frowning, is frowning so much more now.
Wait, what?
There hasn't really been an appropriate opportunity to say that, because the only other time anyone asked us was the cops, and I wasn't gonna say that you were the last person that he seemed to see before.
Yenna's just like, are you wait, huh, is that why Is that why they kept me?
I
Because I'm not a student?
think they just kept you because you were with us. To be fair, I don't know if
Yeah,
anyone knows.
their investigation has not given us much confidence that they know even what happened to them. So that probably means it was just like a weird fluke that they just checked your vitals before. So I don't think you did anything. So
Tink's nodding.
Yenna
I'm
is
gonna-
just like stuck in big eyes mode.
Yeah.
Like her little brain gears are going.
I'm gonna say you guys have looked away for a grand total of 2 minutes, and when you look back, Balthazar has turned around the chalkboard that had all of the alchemical inscriptions on it that he'd been teaching to the prior class, and it has been replaced with a series of notes on everything that you are saying.
He's making a conspiracy board.
Nice.
He's making a conspiracy board. And one of the notes says weird vitals, Yenna, question mark, with a line drawn to why that kid act so weird,
Good.
with another line drawn all the way down to student death, and then a line with a question mark in there. I was like, so let me see if I've got this right. Yenna, your vitals are strange. That person left for a reason to get something?
He told me to wait, and I don't know why he would tell me to wait because I was fine. I didn't even take damage. I was there, and they like wanted me to stay for some reason. And I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then I don't believe in coincidences, so I hate this a lot.
And you were saying that there was something you intended to give back, looking at Tink.
Oh, sorry. I sneezed.
Your fucking kitten sneezes.
At being addressed, Tink, who will have been rooting around in his little satchel for something to do because he feels really awkward about revealing that information to Yenna, will pull out the stone, very much with his prosthetic hand as well, not touching it with his other hand. This was the weird thing.
I regret to inform you that's not weird, that's quartz.
Well, you see, you would think that, and he'll hop up and kind of walk over to where Balthazar is and set it down. There is magic in here. It was activating some paper. A paper. The paper. Do we still have that? Did we? Anyway. It's not quartz. It is quartz, but it's not just quartz.
It acted weird when we put it under light. And you two said, I haven't touched it, but you two said it was hot to the touch, right?
Yeah.
Did some weird color changey stuff too.
So it is definitely not regular quartz.
And it showed like a video or something. It showed us
A moving picture
a moving
show.
picture.
Legally distinct fantasy moving
A
Yeah.
legally distinct fantasy moving picture. A hologram, mirage.
Yep.
It showed images.
yep.
It showed an
It
image.
It
a
showed,
moving
it
image.
showed an illusion that seemed like it was programmed,
Yeah.
And what was in
like
that
a
illusion?
memory.
He writes down the note of memory, circles it, question mark. He's been taking notes on this object.
Yeah.
Looks at Tink. It was us.
Yeah.
Specifically those two.
Mm-hmm.
Gestures at Yulie and Tink.
But not them also.
It was
They
nothing
were
we'd
wearing
ever.
different clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I met you a month ago, and the last 48 hours we've been in house arrest together, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's it was weird. It was I don't know if it was. I don't know.
You're sure it wasn't a memory from anything you two have done before?
No, no, it didn't.
No.
Like they said, it looked like us, but also not really like us. Like
Is it worth trying
different
again?
us.
Yeah, just show him. It'll be easier.
Yeah, let's set up your experiment. How did you shone a light into it? And you see he's running around grabbing all of the components that he thinks he'll need. A light, a lens,
Yeah.
a little stand for the quartz crystal.
Yeah, one of the it was one of my more powerful lights when you gotta see things. He's like trying to find something in the classroom that's equivalent.
And you gotta see things. It's great.
Well, sometimes you gotta see things better than you have to see things. Other times.
Or without a shadow, or special light types.
The professor starts pulling down all of the blinds to make a truly dark room to set up the light.
Mm-hmm.
And then motions to Tink to take over the experiment.
So he'll sit at the desk and try to position himself in sense memory, like where all of his things are. So he fiddles with the light until it's at an approximate same angle as what it would be in his dorm room and stuff.
I would like you to roll society, please.
Society?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a nat one to start the day.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So as you are trying to lay out everything the way that you think everything is laid out, it all feels familiar once it's on the desk. But as the light meets the stone, it starts to refract. And the patterns this time around are different than they were the first time, as they're projected on all of the walls. Instead of the bright, multifaceted colors and the rainbow spectrum that had been projected in all of its spirals, you see something that is almost an absence of light and color. Like the shadows in the room get darker, the edges more pronounced. And you hear a noise start to rattle from the stone. It starts as the softest of buzzes, like a fly has gotten into the room. And it slowly climbs in pitch and intensity till it feels like a swarm of 1,000 wasps descending on you. And then there's a crack. And everything stops. There is a small fissure running down the stone.
He flinches as that happens and places it down on like gently on the little stand that Balthasar had brought out. That was different.
Anybody who would like to, please roll perception.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh, I did not roll well.
I was gonna say Tink is the opposite of on fire today.
Yeah. 13 for Noelani.
Also a 13 for Tink.
Oh, sorry. Not my best roll, but we'll take it. 18.
Nice.
The highest one yet.
Yeah.
What about Yenna?
Me having to find dice. I forgot everything but the dice out.
We were so good.
And I was trying so hard. 27.
Oh hell yeah.
Ah, dang, at least someone can see.
Sometimes I actually get to roll good.
Okay, so Yenna flies in with a 27. Noelani and Tink got 13. 17 and an 18. Okay. Gwyn, when you look at the stone, you see that the fissure that has been opened, like there was just too much pressure built up inside the rock,
Mhm.
isn't like a normal fissure would be. Usually when a stone like quartz breaks, it's the same material inside and out. This almost looks like the stone is bleeding.
Oh.
Oh.
And you see that there is the barest hint of black ink around the edges. Yenna, in the moment that everybody heard the sound, you looked at the stone and you saw that fissure get created. And you saw a drop of what you can only describe as pure shadow fall from it onto the table and then streak across the room and out of sight.
Ooh.
It feels like you just watched something alive escape from a prison that it was held in.
Oh no.
And that inky black around the edges of the fissure on the stone is all that is left of its passing.
Yenna, upon seeing that, and especially if it moves like fast and like darts like very
Yep.
rapidly, is going to like jump up and scramble onto like the nearest like piece of furniture and be like, ah, so a thing came out of it.
What do you
What?
mean? What kind of a thing?
The fissure, and then it fell onto the table, and then it went, and then I pointed in the direction it went, because it streaked
Looks in
off.
the direction.
Yeah, looks around.
The direction that you are pointing in, Yenna, is the door to which Balthazar is running towards with a broom.
Oh.
You watch this professor run to the corner, grab a broom, and immediately run as though, I don't know, expecting that he's going to beat off a spider or something. But on opening the door, there is nothing in the hallway. There is nothing under the door. Whatever you had seen is gone.
Oh god. Did we just unseal a thing?
I think
Well-
Gwen's gonna look back at the stone and like I don't know if she can like peepers at it a little better or anything.
Yeah,
But
sure. You can go ahead. Give me a peepers roll. Are you looking for changes in the stone?
I suppose, yeah, and like just like looking at the crack and like the inky black stuff.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. 25.
Okay. The stone itself doesn't seem to have changed much. It's got the same strange spiral structures inside of it. But the more that you look at the darkness that is left on that fissure in its surface, along that small flaw and fracture, the more you think you see it moving. I need you to make a will save, please.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
Oh,
I rolled
no.
bad.
Oh, good.
Wait, what is my will save? The thing is, like, I'm in a weird threshold of I think my actual will save is good, but my roll is bad. So dang it, where'd it go? There it is. Sorry. Too many tabs open. Okay, yeah, so that's a 13.
Okay. The shadows definitely seem like they're moving. This is some sort of living darkness. The edges of it remain distinct and constant, but inside, the more you stare at it, the more the world dulls. The things on the periphery of your perception turn grayscale, black and white. And it starts to feel like the only thing that is real is the stone.
Oh dear.
Please make another will save.
Oh boy. Come on.
Buddy.
As the person sitting directly in front of this stone that I assume she's gradually getting closer to, what does this look like from the outside?
From the outside, this very much looks like all expression on Gwynn's face has dropped. And she is just leaning closer and closer to the stone.
That was a 19 also.
Okay. I think at that moment as well, like, Tink might, like, smack her on, like, the shoulder, you know?
I feel like that lines up perfectly with the fact that you just passed that will save.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was expecting, like, palm to cheek.
Well,
yeah.
it would be a very light, like,
Tenderness from Tink? No.
yeah, no, I think he hits you a little too hard for that. More like a jostle of, like, the shoulder
yeah
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she'll kind of gasp and look away and like shake her head and be like, Noelani, do you you're studying magic stuff, right?
Yeah.
Take a look, but just be a little careful. I'd rather get a second set of eyes on this. And I think she's just gonna like pointedly not look at the thing for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll come join Tink at the table. It's like, okay, and she'll sort of like talk while she's sort of like setting up to like peepers at this thing, but basically just say, we did try to sort of see if it was magical last time, but maybe with this thing, whatever got out of it, maybe we can get a sense of what it actually is, if the magic is seeping out of it. And I will detect magic on it.
Okay.
Try to sort of discern what may be afoot, I guess.
Detect magic. That's just going to tell you whether or not it has it, correct?
Yeah, it's really just that, but I'm sort of but in addition to sort of pumping the detect magic woo-woo-ness of it, I just want to look at it in terms of what I'm familiar with, in terms of effects, and try to discern if, you know, Yenna said it's like, did we just let something out? Like if it was some sort of like imprisonment, or if it's just like leaking radiation, like magic radiation on us in any way, shape, or form.
It's funny, Noelani. You are used to magic giving off a certain vibe, is kind of the only way that you can describe it. It has a presence to it. And you can feel a presence of magic on the quartz that all component stones and pieces and just normal component things tend to have an inherent magic to them. That's why they're so useful as components. But the moment that your focus shifts to the inky substance left on the stone, it's like a disturbing, chilling absence of any presence at all.
I get closer to it, like at that, and just kind of like put myself like to level with it. It's like, what is this thing? Like there is like a growing curiosity to her of like the absence of it. It's like, that's not how that's supposed to look like.
Give me a will save.
Nah.
Great.
Thing's just gonna take us out one by one.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's a 23.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, tell me your secrets, Goop.
Can I start assisting potentially by using Read Aura? It will give Noelani a +2 circumstance bonus to identify magic. Which
Nice.
seems to be the point here, is to figure out like more about the magic. Yeah. So Yenna's also kind of like scuttles over to be like, what the fuck
and
is
like
that?
and like Noelani's like speaking, like Tink and Yenna can probably anybody could probably hear her. She's like, oh, it's this Tink has no actual presence. This is not how this is supposed to behave. I mean, even if it's some sort of amorphous, whatever scientific jargon, like magical jargon.
Identify magic. Do you have a roll to do?
But nope. 10 minutes identifying or trying to find its particularities of its magic.
Okay, cool. I am going to ask for an Arcana roll
Okay.
with the bonus that Yenna just allowed you, so +2.
2. That is a 20 total.
The more you peer at it, the more disturbing this lack of presence becomes. And the colder the air around it feels. At the back of your mind, you get the small itching idea that this feels an awful lot like a curse. But
I think
a curse isn't quite right. There's definitely something darker than that going on here.
Yeah.
You've
I
read
think...
some vague notions that you could investigate further if you wanted to.
Perfect. I think like essentially like Noelani finishes her investigation. She just like stands up straight. She's like, yep, it's messed up. she's like it's kind of like curse energy, and she attempts to explain magic and sort of like assumes like nobody else kind of does, like it's like magically inclined perhaps. She's like trying to like layman's terms it's like, well, it's kind of like what you'd expect cursed energy to be, but not quite right. It's like bad no matter whatever it is. It, kind of like last night where I thought it was one thing and then it was something else. It's a little like that. I could look into it. Um, and if I remember correctly, Yulie, are you in the cryptozoology class?
I'm supposed to be if I can ever go to class.
Yes, but you probably have the books, right? So maybe we can work into identifying whatever it is. Maybe there's something there, or you know, maybe a trip to the library? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to try and figure it out.
Great. Unless Professor Klein, did you have any other ideas about it?
Balthazar pokes his head back in from the hallway where he'd been opening all of the other doors and investigating with the same room like it was going to help him. It's like, thoughts about investigating magic?
Yeah, we need probably, and she'll sort of list out. She's like, probably want something regarding uh what could go beyond curse magic and any sort of entities that might be related to those things.
If it's
And
curses that you want to talk about, you should probably ask Quinstus. She's the foremost expert on curses at the school.
but wouldn't that get us in trouble if we just keep including faculty into
At the moment,
this?
probably.
He kind of pauses, settling in the doorframe. Seems to me like you've got a choice.
It's gonna look suspicious. I mean, you must understand that we just
Of
got
course.
here. Okay.
If the choice is, if I lay it out for you, you could go to the library, spend several days looking for something you're not quite sure of. Or you can involve more faculty. Now, I'm not saying that that's a good idea, but I am saying that it's something to consider. Of all the faculty that I would put my trust in, Quinstus is one.
Tink gives kind of a
Risen
look at
is the
that. I'm like, ugh.
Yenna kind of also frowns, like, is that not the owner of all the things that you guys were fighting yesterday?
Oh, yeah, the one who was the reason, indirectly, that we were in the infirmary to begin with. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Looks at Balthazar. That's the person you trust?
I mean, I did until you put it like that.
They just didn't seem like they knew what was going on. I just I don't want to waste their time. I mean, we can keep showing this weird quartz to everybody on campus, but it's not
That's
going to get
probably
us
not a
No.
good idea.
No.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's like
In fact,
it-
I would ask that you leave the quartz with me.
That's probably
yeah.
fine.
It's not ours. Once again, it's
Yeah. That's not really anyone's, I guess, so.
I'm not saying that involving faculty is a good idea. I definitely think that first things first, we should try and get you out from house arrest.
Yes,
That-
please.
That's the other thing. How long do we have on my little alarm that was gonna be like, you gotta go back to the room?
I'm so glad that you asked. You have 10 minutes.
great.
Right.
I have been counting down.
And on that note, here's the thing. None of you, and he points to everyone else, were seen theoretically, really, right? Like, I mean, they saw Yenna, but you don't go here. I
Yeah.
think
Right?
maybe, I mean, Yenna, you probably want to stay here, I would assume, with your guardian and not back
I feel like
under
it's
house
where we're
arrest.
supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah. You three are good students who have no reason to have left at all, I think you should go back and act like you figured out that we escaped. That's the best way for you to keep their trust. And I'll, you know, I've got things I need to check on. And I'll be back.
And then I can escort you back.
If you're sure, I don't want any of us to really be under fire, to be honest.
But listen, if we all go back and then they say that they saw me out there, it's going to put everyone else into question. This is the best way to keep you all off the hook. And he's going to like look to Balthazar like, right? I'm right?
Balthazar's going to make a little motion with his hand. He's also looking through the bookcases that lined this room, this workshop. And you see him taking several tomes off the shelves. Now, I'm not the kind of expert that Quinstus is, but these could at least give you a start to know where to look.
Oh, perfect. Yes, we will. We'd be happy to borrow them from you.
Unfortunately, it revolves more around enchantments, so some of it gets a bit technical, but there might be something in there that's worth looking into. You, pointing at Tink, are suggesting to split the party.
Only for a bit.
Counter suggestion, I go with you wherever you're going so that at least it looks like you're being escorted by somebody. That way, hopefully, you avoid some of the trouble that you're getting yourselves into. Why am I even entertaining this?
I wasn't really expecting you to.
Thank you, by the way, for helping us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and thank you, Yenna, for vouching for us.
I mean, sort of like, I mean, I think it's stupid that they're trying to keep you isolated when that doesn't make any sense.
What she said.
Something stupid is happening. Something I don't actually know. What? I don't like this school. The school's weird.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling too.
It has
And he
generally
hand on
been
Yenna's
this
head
weird.
and pops it up. Yeah, in the decade that you have been here, Tink, it's not usually this weird. This is strange. This is very, very strange.
It's usually a little weird. Like I have feelings about how things happen at the school, but it's not this weird.
Actually, you've been here a long time, right?
Some may say that. Yes.
Longer than it normally takes for someone to graduate. How often do they use the wraiths or whatever, the security system? Big air quotes.
It's the second time I've seen it.
What happened the first time?
A fire.
Why
Someone
would that be
died.
helpful in a fire? Oh.
I think it's less the fire and more the dying.
I still don't understand why that triggers that response, but alright.
They didn't have a great explanation for it then, and I assume that's continuing now.
I also don't think that it's appropriate to have that as a security measure just in general.
I hate to interrupt, but
Yeah.
did you say that we need to be back in 10 minutes?
Ah, shit.
Yes, and I'll be back soon. But it looks
Okay,
better if
well-
I get escorted back than if we're all together. Then at least everything makes sense.
Squints.
Roll persuasion. Diplomacy.
Come on. Yeah. 23.
Ugh. Now you roll good.
Yeah, when he wants to be a little piece of shit.
Yeah, Balthazar's just squinting at you and then pushes the owl towards Noelani, Yulie, and Gwyn. It's dangerous to go alone, take this. And Archimedes immediately is like, it is dangerous to go alone, but it's not your place to be. Don't assign me to people. But
You
all
don't
right,
want to
I'll
come
go with
with
you.
us? Okay.
No, I'll come with
great.
you. Don't worry about that. I'll
Great.
come.
You'll have fun. Don't worry. We're gonna read.
Oh, I do love reading.
Okay. Well,
Little
should
nerd.
we get going? To
Yeah.
Gwyn and Yulie.
Yeah, we should probably hightail it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Bye.
Bye. Good luck.
Hi.
Yulie, Noelani, Gwyn,
Yeah.
for your trek back across the grounds, I would like you to roll a stealth if you are attempting to stay away from the prying eyes of the security guards and the cops that are still ambling around, and the surprising amount of students that have poured out onto campus grounds. You get the impression that it is the changing of classes.
Oh, cool.
That makes sense. I mean, that must award us some sort of bonus, right? Because we can
Yeah.
blend in.
It's affected the DC.
Can Gwyn take like her beret off and like maybe just like remove the braid and just like, just
Blend
change
in.
up how she looks a little bit so they're not necessarily looking for someone that looks like
Gwyn takes off beret, shushes up hair. I'm good. Let's go.
I don't know, just something to add to the DC. I don't know what else to change.
You also, I will remind you, Gwyn, you have a hero point. So you can roll this at advantage if you would like to.
I might hold on to it because I may have also accidentally rolled a natural 20 anyway.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay, well,
So-
all right then. Never mind. I take it back.
I'm saving that hero point for when I need it.
Noelani, is that a 12 I'm seeing?
It is a 12. She's carrying books and Archimedes, who is also probably being searched for.
Yeah, probably.
Can Gwyn assist?
If you want to use your hero point, sure.
Yeah, sure. You know what? Yeah, sure. I will use my yeah.
Okay.
I will use my nat 20
In which case,
on Noelani.
it's not a
Thank
nat
you.
20, it's just
It's
advantage.
just, yeah.
Okay.
But I will say, Gwyn, you roll your hero point. Noelani, roll your stealth, and we'll take whichever one is higher.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that was much better. That was a 23 for a secondary stealth.
Would I be using Nolani's stealth for that? Because I'm assuming the 23 is like with your stuff added.
Yes,
I rolled
it
a
is.
baseline 15 for my.
Mine was a baseline 16. So
Perfect.
Okay. So you can mark off that hero point.
Yep. Let's go.
Noelani, you do stumble in the first couple of steps, and you see a security guard, and it takes you like 2 seconds too long to realize that maybe you shouldn't just be standing in shock in front of the security guard before you follow after everybody else.
Ooh.
They look at you very curiously for a moment and kind of take a step towards you, but lose you in the crowd. Yulie, can I get a stealth roll, please?
Yeah. A 23.
Beautiful. with the amount of crowds around and just the general press of people, it's fairly easy to lose the tail that Noelani had accidentally managed to gain you guys for half a second. And whilst Archimedes is talking the entire way, it's very much lost in the chatter of the crowd. When you get back to the dormitory, you find the door is ajar.
But we're using what we used we got out a window.
Yeah, you climb back in through the window, and the door to
Okay.
the room that you left from is ajar. Sorry, that wasn't clear.
I see.
Do we hear anything?
Roll perception.
Okay. 23. Oh, same number.
Also 23.
Oh.
No, 12.
Yulie and Gwynn, you hear a chatter of voices coming from the direction of the common room. And two of them are very easily identifiable as Yenna and Gwynn. But there is also a third voice that has joined the fray that is someone you don't recognize, who appears to be giving them a dressing down. You hear Gwynn kind of stumble and be like, "Look, we didn't even really take our eyes off them, not properly. Like, they were just in the room. It's that you can't blame us for that." And you hear Yenna be like, "They said that it would be fine, that they would stay where they were supposed to be, and everything was going to be a-okay." And she gets cut off by the third voice. "Oh yes, no, of course. Let's trust the children that we're keeping under house arrest and absolutely let them out of our sight. That seems like a perfect plan. You've definitely won an award for the smartest security guards of the year. Did it happen to occur to you that there might be a reason I was trying to detain these students? That they could be dangerous to the rest of the populace?" And you hear grumbled apologies as this dressing down continues.
Who is this punchable voice?
Can I try to take a peek without getting spotted?
I will require a stealth roll, but you can try.
Okay, I stealth. I'm
You
pretty
stealth.
good. I'm pretty good at those. Question
Yeah.
mark. I got a 20.
Noise.
Is that enough? Yeah.
You sneak down the corridor and kind of stand back just as the other person comes into view. Beyond them, you can see Yenna and Gwynn kind of shuffling their feet, but standing at attention in front of someone also dressed in a security guard's uniform. This person is clearly above them in rank, just from what the uniform looks like. There are extra bars on their shoulder. They look as though they are definitely allowed to carry a weapon, as they have two swords strapped to their sides. But the most striking thing about this person is the fall of white blonde hair that is very tightly pulled back into a braid.
I don't understand.
What do you mean? This is the first time we played this game. There could have
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
that's
this
why-
could be anybody's
Sorry,
first
our
time
wide
playing this
reaction
game.
was
Yeah,
fine.
we don't. We have no
We
idea
don't know who this is.
who
No, it's
this
fine.
guy
No, it's
is.
fine.
If it helps, I also don't know them, Sedona, technically.
That's true. That's true.
That is so true.
Oh.
Just the gag noise got me.
Meanwhile, I was over here like, oh, he continues to be a problem for me.
You have a problem.
Yeah, no, there's no idea as to who this person is.
know.
You definitely don't recognize them. You've never seen them before in your life.
Mhm.
They
Mm.
have the pointed ears of a half elf and incredibly pale skin. That you can see they have decorated their sharp features with like shimmery metallic eyeshadows and highlighters, which is definitely not up to uniform par for a security officer. But you get the impression that this person's high enough up in the ranks that they can get away with it. Yes, yes, grovel all you like. That doesn't mean you're in any less trouble. You can go. And you see Yuna and Quinn shuffle from the room and out the door. And this person raises a sending stone to their mouth. Send me 2 new officers to watch over those under house arrest. I'm afraid the 2 that we'd promised it to have been subpar at best. Do
I
you
will
linger?
I will attempt to sneak back.
Okay, give me another stealth roll.
Okay. Come on, Yulie. Homie, no. Okay, it was sorry, just went back and saw in the DMs Dani writing a cab. Okay. I got a 13.
A 13.
Yeah.
Miss Mossbluff, I wouldn't continue to skulk around in the shadows. It doesn't behoove you.
No. I wasn't. Sir.
Indeed, you were not skulking, because I believe I saw you skulking from the corner of my eye.
No, I just.
You do it rather well, I mean no insult. However, I'm fairly sure that the room that you had all been housed in was empty when last I looked. Skulking.
We were just looking for one of the other people that was in our group. They went missing, is all. We've all come back. We never meant to get anybody in trouble. You can check for yourself if you'd like.
Actually, when all that conversation started, I think Noelani would have probably made sure that we hid these books and Archimedes. So I'm like pushing them into my trunk that I'm hoping is beyond the view of the door while Yulie got caught.
Yeah, Yulie is like trying to speak loudly to make sure everybody knows that she got caught. Like, oh my goodness, no, skulking, me.
Now, I do feel that I must warn you all. Your actions have consequences. And he's leading you, Yulie, back into the room that you've just come out of. And the same for you, Noelani.
So they're coming to us, or are they?
Yeah, they're coming towards you.
Okay,
We're coming to the room.
Yeah, I think like
Uh-oh.
Noelani essentially was like putting the moment like Yulie's tone switched to like I got found, she's like looking around, putting the books in the trunk or something, and like essentially like sitting on the trunk and like trying to like look super casual.
Performance
Nothing
check.
wrong here.
Performance check
That's
for
a
looking
21.
casual.
Yeah, she's very casual. No worries.
You look
That's
the most casual you've ever looked in your life, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just about to say what was the casualty check, but that's a totally different thing.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
It is a 21 performance, and just kind of like sitting
Yeah.
to make it look like I didn't just do anything. It's like, yeah, hello, hi, we've been here, yeah.
Ah, Miss Noelani, Miss Gwynn, please have a seat. I'm sure that you don't mind that we checked in on you while you were gone. And you can imagine my surprise as the head security officer at this school of finding that 3 of the Lyceum's brightest had vanished. You can understand my concern, especially when you were instructed to stay here for your own good.
DM, am I aware of this person's actual name because because of diplomatic briefings?
Ooh, roll society at disadvantage.
That's a 10 society. Did I look at a security roster?
You did not look at a security roster. You've looked at security enough to know that this is exactly what he said he is, which is a head security guard,
Hmm.
but you don't know this person by name.
Okay. Yeah.
Does- Go ahead, sorry.
No. I think then that is she's just like, no, of course, I no. You're so right. And like Yulie said, we were just trying to track down our other roommate. You know, you told us to stay, and this upperclassman sort of booked it. So
We just didn't want to get into any more trouble, but clearly
Yeah.
it didn't work. So
Does Gwynn know this person at all?
Gwynn,
Seeing
roll
as she's-
society. Not at disadvantage because you are a second, yeah.
Okay. So that is 21.
You've seen this person around. Usually in the main what's the word? It's completely flown out of my head. Okay,
Like on campus?
The main building in which people work and do the tape. Why can't I think of this word? ADHD is why.
Yeah,
Administration office. That's the word. Yes.
Nice.
He works in that. You've seen him mostly around the administrative section, specifically going from important room to important room.
Mm.
His name is Officer Thrax.
Okay.
He is the head of security. And you know that he works very closely with several areas of the school when it comes to the safety of its students, and specifically when it comes to the safety of its important students.
Mm.
But as for how much you know Officer Thrax, not enough to know his first name, and not
Yeah.
enough to have ever spoken to him before.
Yep. Fair enough. Yeah, I guess like Gwen's just deadpan staring, and maybe like I don't know if she's schooling any sort of like disgust or like lack of she's just unimpressed. But
Yeah. He seems equally unimpressed.
Okay.
Now, if you all have indeed been chasing somebody, why didn't you report that your fellow had gone running around? That seems like something you should have reported. Doesn't it? Think about it. Doesn't common sense tell you, oh, someone's gone missing and we were all under house arrest. Maybe I should tell one of the security guards.
Noelani puts this like front of like, you're so right. She's and the group hasn't seen there be anything but agreeable, but she seems to be really sort of tipping the balance of like she is absolutely about to fawn at this guy. I mean, like, you know what? You're so right. But Yenna and Quinn have been under such duress already, and you all have such important jobs to do here already. We just figured, we'd show some. It's that first year enthusiasm, and that we'd bring it our best foot forward. If we wanted to collaborate with your investigation, then we could make ourselves useful.
Diplomacy at disadvantage.
Oh, poor Noelani.
Hold on, I'm trying to see. It's like, oh my god, do I have anything? No, not really. Yeah, it's not great, guys. That's a 9
Oh, no.
diplomacy.
Oh no.
Indeed. The important jobs of keeping you safe. Why, who can you rely on if you can't rely on your friendly, local campus security guard? You will all be confined to your rooms from now on, at least until I have permission from the police that you are allowed to leave.
Wait,
Speaking
like
of, Hmm?
can Gwyn step forward and be like, do not throw these two under the bus just because they happened to be in unfortunate proximity. Like if anything, just like I was the one who should have known better. I am supposed to be the upperclassman who's teaching them. They have been here maybe 2 days and they have not gotten to do any of the things that they wanted to simply because I got screwed over by the school. So do not don't do this to them.
And would you rather take the fall yourself? Imagine what
Sure.
it would do to your grades. No, I think that we shall keep this as it stands. Nice try, though. I respect a bit of panache. Your fellow, the one that you were chasing, I presume he has the stone you found.
What stone?
The quartz crystal. I've been informed by the detective on the job that they are looking for a small round stone. Fits quite comfortably in the palm, I imagine. You were in the room next to the child who died, were you not?
Technically, we
Suppose I
were
was.
all in the room since the curtains don't make a room. And she puts her hand to her mouth. It's like, sorry, continue.
No, please continue the sass.
We don't have it. We just tried to make sure that Tink didn't get in trouble, and that's it. That's all we did.
Then I shall ask a clarifying question. Did you have the stone?
I mean, yeah, no,
Time to lie.
Yeah, she's like, no. I mean, she's like, no. I know I'm gonna have to make a check.
Yeah, roll a deception check for me, please.
Yep.
Does that
Cooling the features.
Yeah. That Noelani's essentially meets their eyes. It's like, no. And I rolled a 26 deception.
amazing?
Hell yes.
Wow. Holy shit.
Thank you, Dice, for feeding the narrative.
You see, he looks at you for a long moment, as though finding your words distasteful. You can see the edge of his lip curls up. Well, what an interesting turn of events. Perhaps you won't be under house arrest for long. It is within that moment that you hear voices of another two officers arriving, and they come to stand outside of the room as Officer Thrax turns. One last question. Unless you have one of me, of course.
I just I was just curious what is so important about this stone.
Oh, well, you see, we fear that it may be cursed, and that could have been what killed the poor boy.
Oh,
So it really is of utter import that we find whoever has it now, lest they suffer the same fate.
I see. Well, I've never seen it, so.
Indeed. And you wouldn't happen to know who might possess it?
No.
Not at all. I need you to roll a deception check, please, Yulie.
Yeah, I figured. I'm pretty good at those. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spoken up.
All right. 22.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
What a pity. Here I'd hoped that our search was over. Well. My gods will make sure that you are well taken care of for the rest of the day. Should you need anything, do not hesitate to ask.
Syllabus, homework, tutors.
It'll all be taken care of. He leaves. Shuts the door behind him, and you hear the click of a lock. And then a strange gust of wind comes from beneath the door and shuts the window and locks it.
Yulie puts her ear up against the door to see if she can hear him walking away.
Oh yeah, you can hear the click-clack of his heeled boots tapping on the stone floors as he leaves.
What are we gonna do?
Have
Have you ever met him before? To Gwynn.
Um, not directly, no. He's as insufferable as others have claimed. Holy shit.
And Noelani, you can both see that Noelani like lost all of her all of that
Oh.
composure she managed to do that bravado. It's just, oh fuck.
Oh.
She's
No.
like, we gotta do something. We gotta do something. What do we do?
Okay.
We need
Breathe.
to.
Breathe. No,
Well, that
and
seems
she's
like
gonna
a
like.
rather unpleasant young man.
No, we gotta do something. We can't get Tink into trouble. You can't get into trouble. She's like got her hands on Gwen's shoulder. You can't get into trouble for us. We didn't do anything. We need to, if it's cursed, if it's truly cursed, then we gotta look into it. We gotta look into it. And she'll like move from Gwen and like go into the trunk, like open it. Is Archimedes in there? Like just chilling?
Oh yeah, no, there was a muffled. That was a very unpleasant young man from inside the trunk. But he is sat on top of the books, just kind of looking very ruffled.
Yeah. She's like, sorry about that. And she'll pick him up and like put him on the bed maybe and just like grab a book and like start flipping through it. It's like curses. Like, we need to find out what this thing is. We need to know why they care about the stone so much. And what if Tink and Yenna are they're near it? We don't know.
Tink, Yenna.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Wherever you needed to go, Tink, Balthazar is insisting on escorting you. Yenna, would you like to join them?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Where you going, Tink?
You know where he's going.
But for the
I
audience,
don't.
that's never
This-
been here once
This
before.
bitch is going to the infirmary.
This time of day, the infirmary is fairly quiet, but you can see gaggles of clerical students moving to and fro in the hallways. The receptionist looks up with a bright smile, a little confused as to why another professor is here. Said professor is also confused as to why said professor is here. But she smiles brightly and looks from Tink to Yenna to Balthazar to Tink to Yenna, and then just kind of vaguely voices, "Hi, how can I help you?"
Yeah, I just need to see. Would they just go by like their last names, or like, because he's not a doctor yet.
Yet.
Roll society with advantage.
Like, if this girl doesn't know, oh my god, nat 20, 29.
Nice.
Yeah, generally, yes, it's by last name.
Yeah,
It's the easiest way to identify people when you're needed in an emergency.
yeah. I just need to see Altgang for a moment. It's just a quick follow-up question.
A follow question about your health or medications that you were prescribed?
Yep.
Fantastic. I'll pass the message along. And you see she goes to a series of pipes that are lined up around the reception. And she opens one that says 4th floor.
Yeah, he's looking at 4th floor, okay?
Cleric alt gang, paging cleric alt gang. And then a little swoosh and something comes out of the pipe that is a little rolled up paper, and she writes down several things on it, and then she sends it back up and it magically goes swoosh up the pipe. He's expecting you. 4th floor, 3rd door on the right.
Perfect. I'll be right back. You must understand that these are private matters, and he is going to take off up the stairs.
Balthazar's like, private matters, yeah, absolutely. And he's going to follow Tink.
Yeah. Yenna is just gonna like tug on his sleeve and for him to bend down. It's like, they're dating.
For a long moment, he stops and lets Tink get a head start, and he's like, do I really want to follow this guy? And Yenna, you see a multitude of expressions pass across Balthazar's face before he's like, yeah, I'm still going to follow this guy, and carries on up. And he's like, how do you know they're dating? How did you get this impression already?
You'll see as soon as you see them interact. It's really stupid.
I'm not sure I want to see them interact.
It's really stupid. It's the best way.
You know, like, you ever see those people that are like, they want to kiss, but they're mad at each other, so they're not doing that for some reason?
Wait, you mean like those radio shows back in Game
Yeah,
of Thrones?
yeah.
Ugh. They're not out there declaring like honor and undevoted loyalty, right? Because I really can't stand
No,
that kind.
it's not. It's. I'm trying to think of like a way to be like, that's not the 50s. It's like, that's so old fashioned. No, they're big dumb boys.
You calling me old fashioned as he carries on up the stairs?
Yeah, I am.
Rude.
You are a hopeless romantic. It's
That's
actually,
lies and slander right there.
yeah, all right.
Thank you. Thank you for admitting it.
Mhm. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty funny though. I feel like I'm reading a novel when I watch them interact. It's great.
Well, this sounds thoroughly disgusting.
No, it's the most interesting thing that's happened since we got here.
She's like, I'm so glad I'm here to see this.
Yenna ships it.
I know, I love it.
But yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I don't think anything stupid's gonna happen.
He is hoping. My eyes don't need that today. We've had enough shocks. Tink, the fourth floor is busy as hell, but the third door on the right is ajar.
Yeah, he'll slip in and close the door.
Belial is in there with 3 interns.
Cool, great. I can make this quick.
You don't mind that there are lower years here, right?
No, never. Why would I mind that?
Good. I didn't think that you would, but I just wanted to check.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your problem? How can I help?
I
You said it was medical.
He rolls his eyes and looks at him. It was, I just needed to make sure we're okay.
Fine.
Yep, no, and
as you can see, I'm absolutely fine and in perfect health, which is something that I didn't know about you until this moment.
that's why I wanted to come. Just
Well,
take this, okay? And that's it. I'll go. I don't think I can leave again, but
you're my patient, and you should sit down so that I can at least check your vitals and ensure that you're all right for my own 2 eyes. Sit.
he nods
But he's
and
taken
sits.
what you've handed him.
Okay.
And then belatedly seems to realize that you've handed him something and he's taken it. And looks down at it. What have you given him?
A necklace. It's pretty plain, considering Tink's normal things. He will not, I don't think, say anything else about it unless asked.
There are no questions forthcoming. You see that Belial tucks it into a pocket on his lab robes.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately comes to stand in front of you. At about the moment that Balthazar and Yenna arrive, he is shining a bright light into your eyes, checking for concussion or any sort of visible injuries, and is like, "And you feel fine? You didn't come into contact with anything that could have harmed you?"
Oh, just a couple of brutes, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Who hassled
you? He just, looks deadpan and goes, "The cops."
Fucking gay cap, man. Should have known that having the police on the school grounds would only lead to students getting hassled.
Especially us, apparently.
I heard that you were put under some sort of watch.
If that's what they're calling house arrest, then yes, we have been.
And then I heard that another student had died, and, well, clearly my concern was misplaced.
There's a little note of hope when he says my concern was misplaced, where Tink's in his inside voice, I knew it, you were worried.
Balthazar leans towards Yenna and just goes, "I see what you mean."
Just gesticulates see, look at him.
Even the interns are looking a little awkward as they're taking notes on what Belial's doing.
Yeah, and Tink will nod and just say they wouldn't tell us what was happening, and I just needed to come see for myself.
Well, as you can see, nothing particularly interesting is happening here.
No.
So
Good.
you can allay your fears. And you also have a clean bill of health from what I can see. But if anything bothers you, you come back.
Yeah. Okay. I will get out of your hair.
As you should. I have patience to see.
And he nods and gets up.
As soon as they're done, Yenna is going to like be more like, "Hi, I'm here too."
Oh yeah, actually, did you want to?
Could you check me out?
Of course. What's wrong? Are you experiencing symptoms?
No, but I technically didn't get released, and then because the the kid who was checking me out sort of shoves the thought away, uh, left and said they'd be right back, and so like technically I haven't been cleared, and I don't know.
You see Belial's entire demeanor changes, and he's suddenly super professional. Sit down. I'll make sure that you're all right, and at least hopefully give you a sense of peace of mind. I can't imagine that unless it was flagged as an emergency that there is anything wrong. But I can have a look. Who was it that was checking you out that left this job half finished? And he's taking like blood pressure and he's doing all of his little checks.
I I guess it was the student who passed away.
Belial pauses for a moment, frowns, looks to Tink for confirmation.
Who just like nods softly.
I see. That's an interesting piece of information, and
Yeah, I have. I'm having feelings about it. I'm not gonna lie.
I would imagine that you would be. I can refer you to one of the mind healers here if you would care to speak to one.
No.
I can promise you they're utterly professional. Everything will stay private. But don't leave it for me to do, especially when this is such a public room. At least take this information, and he passes you a little flyer.
It's honestly just gonna hand it to Balthazar and be like, "I'm not looking at that."
Balthazar looks at it and passes it back, and is like, "You should maybe think about it."
That no.
He tucks it away in a pocket for future reference. If you would like, I can look into why he left your exam half finished. I'm not seeing anything that should have raised any flags for him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
If it concerns you, I will look into it and get answers.
I would just like to know why. I mean, I assume all the clerics that were supposed to be checking us out were competent enough to be doing that, and if I'm fine, why didn't he just say that?
It's a very good question that you have. He should have said that you were fine. Everything is looking normal. Did he do any extra checks than what I have done right now?
I don't know. Player doesn't know.
Yenna, roll society.
Wait. I think I said that. That'd be really nice if it was. It's not bad. 22.
Yes, he did a check that Belial has not done. That had involved a small flat diagnostic stone and a spell.
I describe that to Belial.
You
I
see,
assume I don't know what it was.
yeah, he kind of frowns for a second, and he goes and rummages around on one of the shelves in this office, and he pulls out a little flat palm stone. Do you mind if I proceed with the scan?
No.
And he activates the magic in the stone and just carefully runs it around you. It doesn't touch your skin, but you get the impression that it's definitely reading something. And Belial picks up the papers on the desk the stone had been on top of and looks over them. I can see why he would have been confused.
What does that mean?
You have a strange magical presence around you.
Huh?
It would need further investigation to figure out what it was, but you're giving off, you're bleeding weave.
That doesn't make any sense.
We usually see it mostly in those with inherent magics, but
I can do magic.
these levels are different to what I would usually expect from a spellcaster.
Oh.
If it is something that you would like to investigate, I can run further tests.
I'm getting to look at Balthazar like, uh-oh.
Balthazar holds up his hands like this is your rodeo, kid.
Is it dangerous? Bleeding
Nope.
sounds bad.
It is the best way to describe it. It's sort of like, we all produce inherent magical weave.
Uh-huh.
Those of us who are spellcasters or are magically, have an affinity for magic, we tend to create more of it. So we give off what is referred to in the community as bleeding weave.
Okay.
There are expected levels of this, depending on what kind of magics you practice and how long you have been practicing them. Depends on how strong that. He makes like a motion around you. How strong the presence of it is.
Mm-hmm.
The levels that you are giving off are not something that I would expect from someone who is adept at magic but isn't, for instance, say, an inherently magical creature.
Yeah, I am literally just a gnome.
Well, just a gnome. There is obviously something going on. Usually, the average mortal body does not produce this much weave.
Oh.
Humans produce slightly less than gnomes and halflings. Elves produce more, considering our Fey ancestry. It varies from species to species. This is anomalous for a gnome.
Okay. Maybe it's not important right now because we have other stupid shit that we're dealing with, but maybe later.
I can give you something to help with it. You can sometimes lead to headaches, queasiness, or drowsiness when casting.
Well, drowsiness is unacceptable. That's not allowed.
He goes over and rummages through a drawer, you see, and he comes out with a little chain of beads that have runes inscribed on them. Morning and night, you're going to want to hold these and just try and channel your energy like you do when you cast a spell.
Oh.
But
okay.
focus on these, and they will store up excess. It will help you manage those magical levels. But if you wish to investigate it further, I'm here and I can do it, or I can refer you to one of our more experienced doctors.
Mm. Okay. For now, can we just keep this between us?
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
It's a job. I'm a medical professional. I'm not going to spread your secrets around.
No, I just. Okay.
And for all he is no longer a medical professional, he also wants to spread your secrets around, thumbing at Tink.
Oh, I'm not worried about him.
Oh,
Big
you
smile.
would be the first. The rest of us are definitely
patently
worried about him.
Why?
Ah, something sketchy.
He's being dramatic.
And being truthful. Now, if you have no reason to be cluttering up my office, as I said, I have scheduled patients to see and interns to train.
Yeah.
Just doing like eye ping pong between the two of them.
Yeah, Tink will just nod and put himself on the outside of the door where he can no longer be seen next to Balthazar and wait for Yenna.
Balthazar's like, why the fuck have you come out here, kid?
Okay, well, thank you, and I'll probably be back once whatever the hell this is resolved.
You can talk to me anytime, Yenna, about anything you want.
I think
I'm
you
at
are the
your
nicest person I have met since I've gotten here.
Oh. Thank you. That is good to hear. And definitely not everybody's impression of me.
You're very direct, and that is nice.
I find it useful to be direct when one is a doctor.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go, and I'm
If you
gonna
need
process
anything at
this.
all.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. It just awkwardly like gives him a little head bow and just like scurries out of the room. It's just like, this is uncomfortable now.
Balthazar just puts a little hand on her shoulder when she comes out the room.
I hate doctors' offices.
He kind of gives your shoulder a nudge and is just like, hey, bleeding magic isn't the worst thing in the world. I'm pretty sure half your family do it.
Yeah, I know. I don't like that it's not as normal as I thought it was. So
He shrugs a little and is like, there's no accounting for exceptional.
I would like to be acceptable in a normal way. Not in the I walk on water kind of way.
Look, I'm a perfectly average half-elf, you're a perfectly average gnome.
Just kind of looks at him like, even you don't have weird things happen around you. You're just weird.
He was about to make like a little maybe, maybe not sort of hand motion, and then you say that and he just looks affronted. He's like, can't even argue with you, you're kind of right there, but fuck.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you should make him your TA. Just points at Tink.
You don't get to tell me that.
I think you will actually want this to be true.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out between us and not between you. Got it? Family things, personal life, that you can weigh in on.
Fine.
Mm-hmm. And he ruffles your hair up and just looks at Tink and is like, any other business? So
Tink looks like startled, as if he wasn't expecting to be spoken to. And just shakes his head. No, we can go back. Thank you.
Not a problem. And on heading back to the dormitory, you cross paths with a blonde man dressed in a security uniform. And I would like you to just roll a perception, Yenna and Tink, in this moment.
19.
Less than that. 18. Or no. Can I do math? No. 13. Jesus.
Whoa, whoa.
wow, that was a bit of a
Oh,
difference.
no.
Damn.
No, my brain was like, add 8, and then it just went 18. That's not how numbers work.
I love it when it does that. Yenna, you don't notice. You're too internally focused at this point in time on the news that's just been delivered to you. But Tink, as the man with blonde hair passes you, you notice a strange tension from the professor that you're walking next to. Almost like when a cat bristles when they're afraid.
I think he just kind of looks at Balthazar at that, but keeps his mouth shut.
Yeah, the artificing professor is just continuing to stare straight ahead and carry on walking. In fact, he's doing it a little faster than he was before.
Takes note of this.
As you get to the dormitory, all of this song and dance may as well have been for nothing, as you see the guards either side of Gwynn, Noelani, and Yulie's room. As Balthazar gives halting reasons, as like, I found a student I believe is supposed to be under house arrest. I thought that I should escort them back, and the people who are on guard are not the people that you were expecting to be on guard, Tink.
Mm-hmm.
Yenna, you see that Quinn and Yuna have been replaced by random human partners number 3.
Ow.
Nice.
Yeah. Dressed in very smart uniforms. Nowhere near as personable looking as Quinn and Yuna had been. And they give you a very hard stare as you head down the hallway. And one of them is like, don't worry, sir, we'll take it from here. You're supposed to be under house arrest, I imagine. To your room, son.
Yeah, Tink will just kind of dejectedly head back into his little room.
Balthazar.
I'll see you in class whenever that is.
Yeah. In class. For sure.
Get some good sleep. It'll be tomorrow. And
Sure.
Balthazar is gonna head out. Yenna, do you follow him?
Man, I'm so torn. Sweet freedom, but also, oh no, my friends.
She can be the man on the outside.
I mean, I think that might be the thing to do.
You're gonna sneak them contraband.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if these guards are like not aware that like Yenna is actually probably supposed to be detained as well, at least by like what the guards are theoretically have been doing, if like you were there, so you have to stay, then yeah, it's gonna take the opportunity to like peace out.
Yeah, you don't get the impression that they were expecting to detain a 5th person. They were only expecting 4.
Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, cool.
And alone and separated in your rooms, Gwynn, Noelani, Yulie, and Tink off on your lonesome. Another day and night pass in the Lyceum. And dawn the next day comes with the sound of students, the chattering noises of people excited to go to and from class, and the gentle knock of a hand on the door. As one of the guards opens it just slightly. We've been given permission to leave our posts. Your house arrest is over. You can attend class as normal. Is uttered through the door to all of you. Tink, the other guard, is the one who tells you, it's just like, sounds like you can get out of here and enjoy your freedom. Word from the top is we don't have to keep an eye on you anymore, so we're heading off. Enjoy class, I guess. It's a jarring and abrupt release from detainment with no apparent reason.
How fun for us.
It's only more suspicious now that we've been released.
I know. With
Yeah,
no
I did not like this one bit.
consequences to our actions not happening. Could I add one thing that Tink would have done over the course of that one night prior to release?
Yeah, if any of you do have anything that you would have wanted to do in that downtime, please let me know.
Yes. But Tink can go first.
Yet Tink knowing when shift changes
Yeah.
I think would have waited until Ba was off duty and just sent a message saying it's a sending stone just for emergencies. I'll keep mine on me. No instruction to Belial on what to do with his.
You don't receive any reply.
That's okay.
You do know that the message has been delivered, but yeah, you don't receive any reply.
Mm-hmm. That's it. He would have just been futzing with his shit otherwise.
So what would the rest of you guys like to do with your free downtime?
I think Noelani at the very least would have pored over the books and just kind of try to like at least get us a few possible leads into the stone. You know, even before release, it's like the idea of like what even is this thing? So yeah, so just kind of spending some time with that. Maybe even like using our Archimedes sort of like as a sounding board for like what could it be, or like kind of like buzzwords, I guess, to look into to help expedite the search. Yeah.
It's like, I have a recording function. I can note down anything that you would like to come back to later.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'll do that.
He's like working as a little tape recorder, notes recorder thing.
Yeah.
I would like an intelligence. Oh, actually, everything's perception.
Yeah.
Everything is perception. So please roll me one.
Okay, that's an 18.
Okay. With an 18, you find these books on curses are one pretty comprehensive considering they were just thrown at you off a bookshelf.
Mhm.
But also the information in them, whilst comprehensive, isn't exactly detailed or allows you the ability to put two and two together.
Right.
There is a passage that catches your notice, which is on the enchantment of objects,
Mhm. Mhm.
in which curses can sometimes become a side effect of an object being enchanted incorrectly, and that a build-up of negatively charged energy can form inside of an enchanted object that is then released when it is broken or slowly overtakes the enchanted object, and that is how most cursed objects form. There's not some random person going around cursing objects and putting them in places.
Right. Yeah. No, and I think that this is interesting to Noelani regardless. I think understanding because this isn't necessarily how things work back at home. So to her this is still sort of like, oh, like interesting. Like why would the weave do that? A kind of thing. It's like and the magical connotations of that, but she'll sort of make sure that she makes a note of that. And throughout the night, if like Gwynn and Yulie are involved, then she would probably pass the information.
Yeah. Gwynn could definitely help.
Yeah.
She might
And
nap.
yeah, with Gwynn's help, you can go through another book. So, Gwyn, if you would like to roll an intelligence. No,
Yeah.
a perception check. Everything is perception check.
Everything is beepers. Okay. That is a 19. Wait, is it? Where is Peep? Sorry, I lied. That was a
Mm.
+8. So 21.
Nice.
Ah, beautiful. With a 21, you kind of follow the line of curse thinking through this book, which is talking about sentient curses.
Hmm.
And this chapter is particularly interesting considering Yenna had described it as a something skittering.
Yeah.
And this passage explains that if something has enough magic stored within it and becomes cursed, sometimes the weave itself can take on personality traits.
Oh.
And that this is how certain monsters form. And it gives a fairly long list of creatures that can form from magical curses. But one in particular strikes your interest, which is simply described as a speaking shadow.
Oh.
And it is described as a construct with no emotion or feeling, but that mimics the caster of the original spell.
Huh. Okay. Well, that sounds not ideal.
Yeah, no, because it further goes on to explain that if it senses the original caster of the spell around, it can try to kill the people around it in an effort to become the real person.
Huh.
Unfortunately, it doesn't go into any further detail than that, but it has given you a name and some information.
Okay.
Okay. I will also say that during this downtime, if you have any spells that you would like to prepare or infusions, looking at you, Tink, to make, then please go ahead in preparation for next session. And this is where we're going to leave it tonight.
Woo.
Hooray!
Yeah.
We did it! We got released somehow.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened. I wonder what went on there. I guess you'll just have to find out next week. Thank you so much, everybody at home, for watching. Thanks, chat. We appreciate you. Heart emojis that I'm making with my hand at a screen when there's not a camera on. Thank you guys so much for joining us for episode 8. We unfortunately will not be doing Hellions next week because we're going to be 2 players down. But we will be back the week after. And next week, instead of doing our usual actual play, we'll be playing some games or something for you guys. Maybe some peak or some group games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you still want to come and hang out, you are more than welcome to. And we'll see you then. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Hello, it is once again me, Nick. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out this week. Thank you for participating in our little channel points and stuff. I'm gonna find a chill stream to take you all to. So if you want to hang out, go for it. If you don't want to hang out, thanks so much for joining us. Maybe everyone will see you next week for play stream. I'm one of the people who won't be here. And otherwise, see you next Hellions. If you did want to boop 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 join the Discord, go for it. There's the link right there. Then you'll know more about the schedule and all the any extras or anything we might be doing as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.